Hi, it's Jackie from Raise Your Vibe and Thrive Society. And today I want to talk about clients' expectations as we as healers, and also about the messaging that you're getting across to your potential clients. And this has come from a coaching session that I did today with one of the Raise Your Vibe and Thrive members. And she was saying that she's a hypnotherapist and she's doing a ꜱᴜ program, that she'd got a client who she thinks like after 4 weeks she was expecting to have lost like a stone in weight, which she possibly could have lost had she have joined somewhere like Weight Watchers or Slimming World. So I asked the question, well, a couple of questions. How are you managing your clients' expectations? Because that is really important. That's really key, that the client knows what they're signing up for and what is going to happen at the end of those 4 weeks. And also how she was marketing the Hypno Slimming in terms of the wording and things like that she was using. Now, when they've done the training, obviously they're using the training and the marketing that comes from wherever they've learned the healing modality, which is very much focused on the weight loss. And she said the marketing said there was an 80% success rate. And I said, well, how is that measured? 80% of what? What's defined as a success rate? And she said it was done in centimetres. Now, I then got her to think less about the weight loss and more about the mindset. So someone who joins Weight Watchers or Slimming World, for example, yes, they may lose a stone in a month. Quite possibly can lose a stone in a month, or maybe more. However, the purpose of those businesses is to keep you coming back every week, paying you £5 or whatever it is, every week to get weighed and see how much you've lost, see how much you've gained. And that's the hook to bring you back in. Okay. So if you leave, there's a very, very high possibility that you will then put the weight back on, and maybe even more. So that is the kind of business model of those memberships. When we're looking at something like HypnoSlimmer, it's a 4-week program. But actually the tools are working on the brain, it's working on the mind and changing the mindset. So the difference between the two is that it's the longevity of it. So all of the tools that you get within this 4 weeks of hypnotherapy, you can use those then forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, so when we switch from thinking about how much weight you're going to lose to actually the change in your mindset, that then creates a whole new, different type of healing modality. And when we think about, and I know this from my own personal experience, because I have a little bit of a sugar addiction that I'm working on, but often when people are overweight, it's usually triggered by, often it is triggered by an emotional response. Okay, so we comfort eat. Okay, so something happens, trigger, we want to eat, to take away the discomfort that we're feeling. And we get that that kind of instant buzz from what it is that we've eaten. It can be lots of things can be triggers. It can be, I've had an amazing day, so I'm going to celebrate by eating XYZ. Or I've had a really, really bad day, so I need to console myself by XYZ. With something like hypnotherapy, it goes into those emotional types of issues and really starts to work on the mindset shift that will then start to work on the weight loss. Okay, so it's working and thinking about not just about the basics of what it is that you're doing, but think of the full transformation and what the client's going to get at the end of it. So, I mean, this is particularly good for people who are hypnotherapists, because what that does more than a lot of other healing modalities is it works on the mind, and it helps you to shift that mindset. It helps you to break old habits and create new habits, because that creating that new habit of not wanting to have an emotional response to the eating, to whatever it is that you're going through, and maybe even working through that emotion, or just not associating it with food, is magical. You know, that is what is going to transform your life, your health, your weight. So please, when you're thinking about how you're going to word things, how you're going to word your posts, focus on the actual benefits of what it is that the client is going to experience. So for something like hypnotherapy, focus less on the weight loss and focus more on the mindset. Focus more on that transformation of getting someone to actually not associate food with an emotion, because that is what happens. And that is key to any healing within the emotional responses of the body. You know, I'm sure as healers, we know that often if we suppress emotions, it can come out as a physical illness. It can come out as so many different things. You know, stress comes out in the body as skin issues and things, you know, so it's really key to start to focus on how you're going to help them with a longevity, rather than trying to get somebody to think that they can lose a stone in a month and then sustain that without having to keep going back. And that is the difference between a weight loss club and, you know, something like ḥypnoSlimmer. Now, I'm not a hypnotherapist, so I don't do hypnoslimming, but I've got clients who do it. And there's quite a few in the membership actually that do hypnoslimming. So it's really key for you to think about those points, those benefits, those real, because that, if you're creating a post and saying something like, you know, do you have emotional triggers? Do you have a bad day so you reach for the biscuit tin? Do you have a good day and you reach for the biscuit tin to celebrate? Are you finding that you're comfort eating? You know, where are the triggers going on with this? When you start focusing the post along those kind of lines, rather than lose a stone in a month, we're getting more to the nitty gritty of what's going on in somebody's mind and somebody's psyche. You know, what's made up with it. And it could be that those emotional issues go far back. You know, it's about understanding the triggers and where they are and how you can help them to overcome those triggers. So short and sweet, and I hope you found some benefit from this video. If you do, please leave a comment, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, then also you can leave a comment there as well. If you want to subscribe, click the subscribe button and press the bell underneath here to be notified of all the new videos coming up. And also, again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, please sign up to that as well. And I will speak to you very soon on the next video. Bye.